What's going on, everybody? Kalibas Tech here, coming back at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you 5 reasons to buy the Samsung Galaxy A03s in 2022. Now, this phone was released in August of 2021, and so far it's been a really decent entry-level phone. But does it still provide value in 2022? Well, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why it does. So let's get into it. So the first reason to buy the Samsung Galaxy A03s in 2022 is the large display. Now, this phone has a 6.5-inch PLS IPS LCD display with a resolution of 720p, a PPI of 270, an aspect ratio of 20:9, and a screen-to-body ratio of about 81.8%. As you can see here, the bezels are decently thin, and overall, the phone has a nice modern look, even by today's standards. Now, while you can definitely get phones with bigger displays than this display is still a good size, and it's going to be great for content consumption, like streaming videos, viewing photos, playing games, and even reading. In general, even though the quality isn't the highest, and it doesn't have anything fancy like an AMOLED display or anything like that, having a larger display like this is still going to give it an advantage because everything is of course going to show up a lot larger and be easier to see. In addition to this, since the display is on the larger side, but not necessarily the largest you can get, it's still going to be small enough to be comfortable to hold and easy to carry around in your pocket. The fact that the phone has a nice sleek design doesn't hurt either. So overall, if you're going to be doing lots of content consumption, like streaming videos, playing games, viewing photos, all that, the large display the Samsung Galaxy A03s has makes it a good option for that. The second reason to buy the Samsung Galaxy A03s in 2022 is the battery. Now, this phone has a 5,000 mAh battery that supports 15-watt fast charging. So this is definitely a really large battery that's going to give you a ton of life throughout the day. Now, there is a good handful of phones in this price range that have a similar battery, but not every one of them does. And a 5,000 mAh battery is for sure going to give you a great amount of battery life, even if you're using your phone heavily. In addition to just having a lot of life per charge, this phone's also going to have a lot of longevity down the road. As it gets older and the battery starts to wear out, it's not going to hinder the phone's performance nearly as quickly as it would if the battery were smaller. So as a result, you'll be able to keep this phone for much longer without replacing it. So if you like to keep the same phone for a long period of time, this phone is definitely going to be a great option for that reason. In addition to this, being able to support 15-watt fast charging means this phone is going to charge up a lot faster than some other phones in this price range that don't support fast charging at all. This is going to be great if you don't have a lot of time for your phone to charge up and you need to give it a little life. The third reason to buy the Samsung Galaxy A03s in 2022 is the security features. Now, this phone has a fingerprint scanner right here on the power key, and it also has Face Unlock. Now, it's not unheard of for phones in this price range to have both, but it's not really the most common thing either. Usually, phones will have either one or the other, and not both. In fact, even in flagship phones, the iPhone 13, which is a much higher level phone than this, doesn't have a fingerprint scanner, and this does. Now, does that mean that this phone is better than the iPhone? Not really, but it just goes to show having a fingerprint scanner and Face Unlock at the same time is still a valuable advantage that this phone has. Now, in addition to just having the fingerprint scanner, it's also in a great spot that's really convenient to use, and it works really quickly as well. As you can see, that was really fast. Let's try it one more time. And as you can see, it unlocks almost instantly, and having Face Unlock means that if you're in a situation where you can't use the fingerprint scanner, you're still going to have another option to unlock the phone without having to type in your PIN. These features help you keep your phone secure while also making it really convenient to unlock. The fourth reason to buy the Samsung Galaxy A03s in 2022 is the overall design. Despite being an entry-level phone, this phone, like I said before, is a really nice looking phone. It has a nice sleek design, definitely not bulky at all, and even though it has this sort of thick bottom bezel and a water drop notch for the front-facing camera that I'm not a huge fan of, it still does look really nice. The back is made of this material that has a unique texture that definitely stands out, and I really like this red color. In addition to this, although the materials are not really very premium, which you can really only expect so much anyway, the phone itself doesn't really feel cheap at all. So in general, if you are looking for an entry-level phone, but don't want to get one that looks and feels really old and cheap, the Samsung Galaxy A03s is going to be a good option. Now, my fifth reason to buy the Samsung Galaxy A03s in 2022 is the camera. So taking a look at this phone's camera setup, we have a triple camera setup right here with a 13 megapixel main camera, a 2 megapixel macro camera, and a 2 megapixel depth sensing camera. Now, although it doesn't have an ultra wide camera, which I was disappointed by, at least it has a macro camera, and it also has a really good quality main camera. To give you an idea of what this camera can do, take a look at this photo taken with the main camera of the phone. For just being an entry-level phone, this is a really nice photo. The colors, lighting, details, everything looks really good. So even though this phone is a really inexpensive entry-level phone, camera-wise, it still very well lives up to the Samsung quality. Now this photo was taken with portrait mode, which I was really impressed by. Usually in lower-end phones, there's bound to be some sort of distortion in portrait mode. Usually the background isn't blurred very well, and it just doesn't blend overall. And another thing to keep in mind is that portrait mode was meant to use with people, so all things considered, portrait mode worked really well on this phone, and I have no doubts that it would be able to take some great pictures for social media or something like that. Now this photo was taken with the macro camera. I'm not a huge fan of macro cameras in general. I never really use them myself, so I never really know what to expect. But with that being said, the quality of this photo looks pretty much the exact same as the quality of this photo taken by a much more expensive phone. So although I'm not super blown away by the macro camera of this phone, all things considered, you're not necessarily going to do a whole lot better with a more expensive phone either. Now the video quality of the phone isn't really anything special. It can shoot in up to 1080p in both the rear and the front cameras, so no 4K or anything like that, but that's really not very surprising. And just so you can see it for yourself, this is a video taken with the Samsung Galaxy A03s.
So right now we're doing a quick video test with the Samsung Galaxy A03s. Right now we're shooting in 1080p at 30 frames per second. Also keep in mind what the audio quality sounds like.
For what it is, the video quality really isn't that bad. The audio quality, of course, was pretty bad. This phone doesn't have the best microphone, but if you really want to shoot videos, maybe for social media or something like that, you can always use an external mic. And if you just want to use the phone to shoot B-roll and don't necessarily care about the audio, then this camera will at least get the job done for that. So overall, for what it is, this phone's camera setup was really impressive to me, and even the videos weren't bad either. But those were my 5 reasons to buy the Samsung Galaxy A03s in 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to learn more about this phone, be sure to watch my full review of it as well. But that's it for this video. As always, I will see you in the next one.